Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of In the Spotlight. I'm Mike Kenichi. I'm really excited tonight. We have a very talented actress, um, director, you name it. She's done everything. She also has a real good anti-bullying campaign that she's been doing for a few years. It is my honor to introduce the one and only Nicole Shiflett. And Nicole, I want to thank you for coming on today. It's a real honor.
Hi, thanks for having me.
No problem at all. So, Nicole, let me ask you. I know as a young kid, you attended ballet classes with your mother quite a bit. So, just did the love for dancing really start at a young age for you?
Yes, it did. My mom threw me in dance when I was 3 and did it all the way up through high school, early adulthood, and yeah, quite a long time. And it was just a passion, a love for the arts.
Right. And Nicole, one of the things I noticed about a lot of these kids who take up dancing, and I'm sure it was the same for you, is the commitment they have to put in. Some of them do it 4 nights a week. I mean, it's a lot of hours, and you're going to school all day, and then you're going to dancing. So, I mean, was that kind of like the same for you as a young kid doing that as well?
Oh yeah, it was a full commitment. And then I put my daughter in dance, my oldest daughter, and we started competing, and we were there what almost seemed like every day. Like, it's a big commitment, but it's the love for it and having fun with it.
Right. And let me ask you, Nicole, I mean, do you get the same type of rush when you're rehearsing or practicing that you would when you're going out there and doing a solo or a dance routine?
It's a process because you gotta learn the choreography, you gotta learn the song. I think my biggest thing, and I love lyrical, is
Yeah.
finding a connection with the song and then working that emotion into the song, and it grows and grows, but the more it grows, each day you're giving it your all. You're giving it your all, but you're giving
Yeah.
more and more each time. So when you do step on that stage, it's just art, and it's beautiful.
Yeah,
It's
and you did tap, you did jazz, you did contemporary, you mentioned lyrical. I mean, you obviously seems like to me lyrical was number one. Did you enjoy doing jazz as well and tap?
Yes, so ballet is actually my love. Ballet and lyrical compete. They're right there. I love
Yeah.
those 2 so much. Um, but I did do jazz, and I do enjoy jazz, uh, especially in needing to know that style, especially if you wanna go on Broadway or do musicals and stuff like that. It's such a fun style. And then tap, I was just never good at. I never had rhythm. I never had rhythm. I It's fun, but it's just not my thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And,
It's hard. You gotta have some good rhythm.
and Nicole, was it I mean, you're a young kid and a lot of times when you're really young, you have so much energy and stuff, but I mean, was it a little difficult to keep up with school and then go to dance every day? I mean, how were you able to juggle both?
It was easy. I was a rebellious kid, but my grades didn't suffer. Um, but I mean, it just gets integrated into your life to where it wasn't even a thought, and I honestly had never thought of that until now because I don't know, it was just part of life.
Yeah. I mean, do you see it a little bit with your kids? You mentioned your daughter's doing dance. I mean, do you see like the work she has to put in? I mean, does she look tired at times when she gets home from a long day?
Oh, she does. We've actually taken off some time from dance because we moved across country in this
Yeah.
last year, and, um, and it's been a change for her, and she's finally being able to relax and be a kid and have fun and do the things that kids should do and hang out with her friends. So I'm glad I'm seeing that. But I fully support if she wants to get back into that lifestyle of being at dance all the time. And when we were doing that too, there were times when I'm like, you need to just go to sleep, you need to eat something, like you need to just stay home and we can miss a day. So I always look out for her best interest for mental health and physical health
Yeah.
overall. Yeah.
And Nicole, you grew up in Colorado, correct?
Yes, yes.
Here's the question I have because I've always been fascinated by this. I always felt like sometimes it was exaggerated, but is it true that there's been a little snow in June at times? Because I've heard that, and that just seems really hard to believe.
I'm glad you asked because not a lot of people believe it. We had snow. Oh man, 2010 or 11 around there. We had snow July 4th and we were still snowboarding.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so the weather is so crazy out there.
Yeah, but I've never heard anybody like say they dislike living out there. So I mean, it seemed like it was a beautiful place to live, correct?
It is gorgeous. Yes, if you ever get the chance to go visit, go explore. It's just getting so congested that, of course, inflation and all that stuff started going up, and it's just again getting so congested. Traffic is no fun. So, getting out of it, we definitely miss it for what it is. But as far as people are concerned, we're like, we have space now.
Yeah.
We're good.
So Nicole, let me ask you, was there anybody when you were a young kid that you really enjoyed watching as far as dance went or acting? I mean, was there anybody you kind of inspired to be, or somebody that you really looked up to watching?
I always into the Royal Ballet and the Moscow Ballet. Um, Mikhail Baryshnikov was like, I mean, one of my favorites just growing up. I know it's very cliche and stuff, and not a lot of people would approve of that, but like that was my one thing. Like I was like, he's amazing, and I want to be able to express what he expressed because it's not the necessarily like the technique, it's the expression. So dance definitely through that. Uh, and then for acting, there's so many. I have so many favorite like comedians because I really like comedy. Uh,
Hmm.
and I was a huge Disney kid. Um, 90s peak Disney, all the good stuff. So following like Lizzie McGuire, Even Stevens, That's So Raven,
Yeah.
those shows and stuff. Like I wanted to be all those girls. I wanted to be all those characters, even like The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, play Brenda Song playing London Tipton. I was like, I want to be a heiress princess, like goofy. Um, but yeah, as I got older, I watched a lot of stuff with my dad, Monty Python, uh, Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey, Steve Martin,
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen, um, all of that good slapstick comedy, and then into my adulthood, I've just always loved comedy. That's my go-to.
Right. So
Yeah.
truth be told, you prefer the comedy roles more so than the drama roles, correct?
Well, so I get asked a lot, like, what would be my ideal role? And at first I was saying a villain. And then I got a villain part. And now I'm like, okay, so what's next? And I had to reevaluate that question. And I was like, okay, I really do like comedy. I want like my next dream role. Would would be to be in a slapstick comedy or to do something fun, a rom-com, a Hallmark Christmas, like, type movie, something super cheesy, uh, and I have a couple auditions that are coming up that are absolutely ridiculously awesome, and I'm super, super excited about those, and those are within the comedy realm that I've wanted to do, so I'm excited for that, even if I don't get the job, I'm super excited to see those projects, um, but now I have to reevaluate again because it's like I'm getting these opportunities now to do comedy, and I'm like, "Okay, so what do I wanna do next?" So I'm always thinking about it's always changing, and
Yeah.
it's fun. It's super fun.
And you mentioned Hallmark, and it's amazing to me how that channel has just taken off over the last 20 some odd years because you're seeing a lot of people. I think of Lacey Chabaret or whatever. She was on Party of
Mhm.
Five for many years, and she does a ton of Hallmark movies. And really, Hallmark, and so does Danica McKellar, who was on the Wonder Years. She's done Hallmark movies. So I mean,
Mhm.
Hallmark, especially for women, I mean, they have really like made that channel what it is. And I think like if you're ever able to get a big role on Hallmark, that's a big deal right there.
Yeah, yeah, they come out with a lot of good stuff, like, even as cheesy as it is, I mean, it's Hallmark, guys. It's still like, they still come out with some really good stuff, like, it gets ya.
Yeah, definitely. And Nicole, correct me if I'm wrong, but you also played several instruments as a kid as well, right? So you definitely had a love for music, not only on the dance side of things, but you also did different instruments as well.
Yes, so I played the violin, the piano, and the flute all for very short times, it was fun, it was fun, and I would love now as an adult, like, to go back and get the chance to play those again, start taking piano lessons again and seeing what I can remember. I picked up a violin for the first time in years, and I was able to nail a couple notes that came back, so even violin lessons would be fun.
And
Yeah,
the thing, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
oh, I was gonna say, that's music has always been a huge part of our family. My brother plays professional violin out in, California, so, I mean, it's a huge part of our life, and my son plays piano, so
Wow.
we're still a very musically inclined family.
And the thing is too about the violin, which I really like, in a lot of songs you listen to,
Mhm.
a violin is in that music. It makes that song that much more special. I mean, it has that note to it that just makes you love the song. So I mean, I think a lot of times violinists are very underrated because people don't really realize the impact they make into a song.
Mhm. Even Lindsey Sterling herself, like, I mean, just listening to her albums and stuff like that, like, just the violin and just the vibes of it all, like, it's good. I love it.
Yes,
Mhm.
definitely. And Nicole, now you did some acting and live modeling when you were like 9 or 10 years old, right? So I mean, that's very interesting because I mean you're a young kid and you're already doing dance and stuff, but like when you're modeling and stuff, you have to do these type of commercials or these things for certain things. Like, there's a lot of work that goes into that. So it just sounds like to me from the time you were 3 years old, you've kind of always put a lot of work into everything that you love.
Yes. Yes. Very much so. I think I was a little bit older, um, when I started, um, really getting into modeling and acting, like, around 11, 12, was when I started getting interested, and, it was hard back then. I didn't know anything about the community, the entertainment community. I was kind of blind. I was like, I just wanna do this and get into it, and I wanna go to Hollywood, and I wanna do this, and I wanna be on Disney, like, but my heart wasn't in it for the right reasons at the time, and I think a lot of, the rejection, which is not rejection at all now that I know as an adult, but, the rejection hurt. It was really hard, and I just put it to the side at one point because
Yeah.
it didn't seem like it was the right time, which is why now I feel like I have so much more confidence. I have so much more knowledge. I'm not only doing a lot of it on my own, I've got a lot of great help, like, with my acting coach, and then
David.
just
Yes. Yeah.
yes, yes, with David, and then also with, Steve. Everything's just kind of, just guided me in the right direction and put me in the right place
Yeah.
every time, and it's been so nice because 'cause I'm learning so much, and that's what I love, is I love to learn.
And the thing is, Nicole, I was never against kids getting into acting if they enjoy
Yeah,
it,
no.
young kids. But at the same time, I think it's good in a way that you've done it because I think a lot of times young kids they get short-term fame for a while, maybe like 5 or 6 years, and then they get older, and it's not as easy to get the opportunities that they got as kids because
Yeah.
sometimes you just fit roles better when you're a kid. So, I
Mhm.
mean, it sounds like to me that like if I'm somebody from the outside looking in, I would want that kid to have the best childhood they could have, and then really get into the acting when they become young adults.
Yeah, yeah, it's great advice. I let my daughter she filmed a indie feature film not too long ago, last month, I believe. Yes. It's been so long. So much has happened. Yeah, I let her do that. It was for a few hours on a weekend, and I was like, "Sure, why not?" Because she wants to see what this world the entertainment world is like and the acting world is like. But yeah, it's like, I want you to have the best childhood you can, and we're not gonna make you a star right now, but if you wanna get into this and if it's something you love, let's get you in theater, let's get you back in dance. And then when she's old enough, she has a little bit of professional experience under her belt, so she can determine whether she likes theater or film and, you know, go her own way. I want her to definitely make her own choices.
Right. And I
Mhm.
also, find interesting too, Nicole. A lot of actors and actresses, they will start off in soap operas because, again, you want to get your foot in the door, and they do a few years on some of those soaps, and then they really start to take the next step. I mean, would you do soap operas if it was the right role for you?
Yes, yes, I will never say no to that. Like, yes, I think it'd be fun to do a soap opera for sure. And to be honest, I really don't watch soap operas. Like, it's just never caught my attention. It's always just been the
Yeah.
butt of the joke, with friends and stuff growing up, so I never took it seriously. But, I've met a lot of people that have been doing soap operas or have done soap operas, and I need to start watching them. I do. I need because I mean, it's drama, and I don't have that
Yeah.
in my life, right?
I always joke though, in a soap opera, you could die about 5 or 6 times and still come back to life. That's always been the running joke, you know. So, I mean, that's always something funny. So, Nicole, one thing people may not know about you who are following your acting career is you're
Mm.
also a teacher as well, and you took a break from acting for a while to teach and focus on family, obviously. So, just talk about teaching, because how long have you been doing teaching?
Um, so I did teach, and helped assist direct a children's theater company for a season. Uh, that was, like, straight out of high school or a couple years out of high school. And then I went to college, kind of didn't know what I was doing and ended up in early childhood education as my major. And I took a bunch of classes and then I took a break. I was taking theater with it. And then I took a break because I was like, I don't know if this is exactly what I want to be doing. Um, but I was teaching it at a preschool for a few years out in Colorado. And then moving here, I was teaching at a preschool. And I'm taking a break now because I want to focus a little bit more on the acting side of things. I need a break from it. But my end all goal, because I love acting so much and I love teaching so much, I'm going to finish up and get my schooling done and become a theater teacher or maybe a
Oh,
theater
wow.
director out here in my home, where we're living, and do professional acting on the side and get the best of both worlds.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you talked about theater. Didn't you choreograph and instruct a theater play called Catch Penny, something like
Oh,
that?
no, 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 that it was with it that was the company.
The company.
So
Okay.
I was helping choreograph with that and, having fun, learning the ropes, learning more theater games and what it takes to direct and stuff like that. So that was a really fun gig, and I really like exploring all avenues. Like, acting is my main focus, but I wanna know what that guy up there is doing. I wanna know who's doing this over here. Like, I wanna know what the producer does and what their role is, the composers, and I'm a sponge right now. I love soaking in all this information.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
inspiring. It's inspiring.
Right. So, Nicole, talk to me a little bit about the anti-bully thing you're involved with, because you're very passionate about that, and you've been doing that for quite a few years, correct?
Yeah, my, So we moved to a new state last year, and,
Yes.
it was a reset for all of us to kinda just get to know ourselves again, get to rediscover ourselves, um, and my oldest daughter was having a really hard time transitioning here, um, to one point when she got called into the principal's office and for bullying. And I was bullied in middle school, so she's considered middle school out here, which is 5th grade. And middle school was the worst 3 years of my life. I was bullied so much, whether it was cyberbullying or in face at school. Like it was nasty. But I'm doing better. I'm healing and thriving from that. Um, but I mean, it hits really close to home.
Yeah.
So, when my daughter was, when I was told that she was bullying other kids, but there was just this one really big incident, I had to crack down on that. So we invited pretty much the whole 4th grade girls or the 4th grade class. We didn't want to exclude anyone. Um, we invited them to come over to our house and have, like, kinda like an anti-bullying, bonfire. So I had planned, s'mores, and we did a lot of bonding games, and learned how to communicate with each other and, like, promote kindness to others and just and self-esteem and just really empowerment to bring out in each other. Um And I think it clicked really well because as soon as she turned 10, I mean, she has been a whole different kid. She's um she's definitely been more respectful, more helpful. She's definitely a much, much, much better friend. Um and that's what I just really want these kids to have is like these tools to love each other and to just cut the bullying, because I don't care how old you are. If you bully, I'm gonna step in. Like I don't tolerate it. It's so mean and it's so hurtful.
Yeah.
And everybody just needs someone out there like to know they care. And this world would just be such a better place if there was no bullying.
And Nicole, that that bonfire you had and stuff. I mean, I think
Mhm.
that's a great idea, and that's really something that I could see you doing as like a documentary someday. Is like
That'd be
some
fun.
type of anti-bullying campaign, and just showing how you bring kids together. Who, because I always say this too, when a kid is 13 and they're bullying somebody, you don't want to hold that against them forever because they are still
Yeah.
kids. You
Yeah.
know, so like you try to make them understand that we all want to be friends here. So I think it's a great idea to because it not only helps the kids who are being bullied, but it's also helping the ones who are doing the bullying because they
Mhm.
have to realize that you can make better choices in life. So I think it's really, and I think it'd be really cool to see you do a documentary on something like that. It'd be really nice.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be honest with you, like, yes, I was bullied a lot in middle school, but I know that I have had my moments where I was the bully, and being on both sides of that, like, you get a different perspective when it comes to bullying, for sure.
Yeah.
Um, and you just gotta learn to forgive too. That's
Yeah.
the biggest thing.
Yeah. And the thing is too, like, you feel in a lot of ways better when you're able to forgive because you don't want to carry that with you forever as well. So, you
Yeah.
know, that's a good message to send as well. So Nicole, talk to me a little bit about David Thompson. I had David on the show, real nice guy, very funny guy as well. And he's an outstanding acting coach. So just talk about him a little bit.
He is absolutely amazing. Um From the moment we did our first session together, I was like, "You know what? I know this is gonna work. This is gonna be great. I like your vibe." So, we just clicked and man, I thought I could cry on command pretty easily before I met him. I was like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
got this. I got this." After meeting him, I feel like I'm crying every session, because he's bringing out so much emotion and something so beautiful and,
Yeah.
um, dark, and it just feeds into these characters that I'm auditioning for, and it he makes it so fun. Um, and again, it's the art of it, like, the fact that we're creating art and not just, like, doing this for fame and fortune, like, we're like, it's so magical the way we work together. He's so much fun. He's amazing.
And tell me this, Nicole, because you've experienced it. How invaluable are these acting coaches? Because I think really people think they might go into this thinking they could act and stuff, but so many people I've talked to over the years say that taking these acting classes is what really made them good actors.
I think it's super important. I mean, I did theater classes in college, and it was fun, it was great, but that was theater. Um, and it was just I didn't take it very seriously, like, I wasn't like, "I wanna make a career out of this." I love it, I absolutely love theater, I still love going to plays, I still love going to see musicals and stuff like that, it's part of my world, but it just wasn't me to fully immerse myself in it.
Yeah.
So my heart's there, but it wasn't in it at the moment, and now, years later, I wanna make this a career. Like, you have no idea how important it is to find an acting coach that you just click with and have fun and have the time of your life and enjoy everything about it, um, in order to make it a career and to like, it's a rebirth and it's refreshing, but you need an acting coach. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you have natural talent, I will give it to those that have, gotten through with natural talent because, I mean, it's out there. It's out there for sure.
And the one thing, Nicole, that I always wonder about actors and actresses is how they get through those nerves. Because think about somebody who's getting up and they have to do a speech in front of a bunch of people. You get nerves doing that. You get the butterflies that go in your, and
Mhm.
you don't want to get up there and show those nerves. You want to look confident, but it is hard to go up in front of a bunch of people. But when you're auditioning for something, how do you black how do you black out those nerves? I mean, does the acting classes really play a big part in getting rid of those nerves when you're up there?
Yeah. No, no. One thing I did learn, so one thing I've been told, at the end of the day, you're going to be your own best acting coach. You gotta be your best friend. You gotta be your biggest hype man. You gotta believe in yourself for sure. Um, and use those nerves is what I've been told. Use those nerves in
Yeah.
your piece. Bring out the truth. Because when I started with Dave, um, I I asked him, I sent him my initial email was like, "Look, I every time I audition for something or every time I read a role or, try and act, I'm myself. I'm Nicole. I'm never Chelsea or Emma or whoever I'm trying to read for. I'm just myself and I don't like that. I want to be that character. Like, how do I step away from myself?" And he told me, "No, you have to use your truth. You have to connect to those characters and dig deep and find that um connection." And so if you're nervous, use that to your advantage when you go in for those auditions or when you do a self-tape. Like,
Yeah.
you can take multiple self-tapes, but use that nerve and play it back to yourself. Keep watching yourself. Like, I mean, it because you'll make something beautiful with that if you're true to what you're feeling in the moment, and also if you're true to what the character is feeling. I Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's
Use
definitely
it. Use it.
yeah. It's definitely a good outlook on things.
Mhm.
So Nicole, like anything else, they tell you if you do radio, you got to have an escape and do stuff you like. Make sure that you have your own time to enjoy things. So, like when you're away from the acting side of things, I mean, what are some of the hobbies you like to do in your downtime?
So, um, I promoting my business. I make tumblers. So,
Oh, very, oh,
don't
that's
drink
really
this
nice.
hot chocolate today. Uh, yeah, so I make tumblers, out of glitter and epoxy. That's, like, my little crafty world hobby. I love to snowboard. I haven't been for a little while because, sorry, Virginia, your little baby bunny hills, they ain't got nothing on Colorado. So,
Yeah.
hopefully I'll go when we're gonna go visit for Christmas, so,
Oh, nice. Yeah,
hopefully I can sneak in a day to go ride. I miss it, I need it. Um,
definitely.
yeah, that's definitely an escape. Oh, man. Uh, if you've never skied or snowboard or went tubing or anything, or if you're in Colorado, you gotta go check out the Keystone Ice House, like, you gotta go do it. You just have fun. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So, so far in 2023, and if I got this wrong, I apologize, but you've done a few films, Alphabetical Athletics. Talk
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was my first project out here, and it was so fun. It's a completely different take. Adam Rosenberg is the creator and director. He funny story, he was filming a lot of stuff in Colorado, so from Colorado, he was living wow, I said that weird. He was living out in Colorado, and I was too, and we both moved out here to Virginia within the last, like, year or 2. Um, so it's funny how we met up and it was my first project. Anyway, yeah, no, it's a stop motion film, short film, and it's A through Z on extreme sports.
yeah,
So, um you'd have to check out his, Instagram page. He's got a little snippets and stuff, but I did the unexpected underhand for the letter U, and it's about, it's softball, and we've got a pitcher and a batter, and it's in the editing portion right now, so hopefully that's coming soon, um, but I don't wanna spoil it. It's a fun one, but it was all filmed stop motion, which I mean, I thought I was just gonna get into a film role or a commercial or, like, even doing print modeling, when I started this, and, no, I got this, a stop motion, not claymation, using a human, and it was so much fun, and it was so cool to see the process of that. I mean, he works hard on these, like, they're so funny. You can go see the snippets, but, um, yeah, they're a good little giggle for
and
sure.
I think that's important too, Nicole. That you have to enjoy what you do. I mean, you have to like the work you're doing. And there's gonna be, I'm sure, down the road, there's gonna be some projects you do, and you may not always like the writing. I mean, any actor has said over the years that some of the films they did that they just could not embrace the writing, because there could be bad writing for films, but at the same time, you have to be able to take those opportunities because even when something might be bad, it could really take you to the next step as well.
Yeah, and it's all about the experience and having fun with it, and it's okay to say no to projects too, whether whether you think it's good or bad, and it's okay to say yes to those ones too. So, I'm just in it to enjoy the ride right now and figure things out and have fun because I mean, life's too short to just sit and putter, as, Meryl Streep was it Meryl Streep? No, 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 Barbara Streisand would stay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
Streisand.
And now, Nicole, you also directed a short film, Batman Fun Series. I mean, didn't you direct that?
No, no, I'm not directing that, Jason Copen? I hope I was saying his last name correctly. No, he is also here based in Virginia. We are going to be filming a Batman film series. He is the director. I will just be acting as
Okay.
Talia Al Ghul. Um, so I'm excited to see where this leads. We shoot next week and on the 25th, and the location is super, super cool because um, on the side, I also like to do paranormal investigating. So the location we're at, I'm gonna bring sneak some equipment on set and see if we can have a little fun investigating at the same time.
So it sounds like something that's really gonna be fun. And again,
Yeah, yeah.
that's what I think is very important is you've got to enjoy this. If you're not enjoying it, then you shouldn't be doing it. But let me ask you, with your love for music and stuff, would you be open to doing a movie where a lot of it is musical, like one of those great musicals? Like if they ever remade Grease, would you take an opportunity if it
Oh,
was presented?
yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I love musicals. I've always wanted to be in Chicago. Like,
yeah,
hands down, Renee Zellweger and, Catherine Zeta-Jones are just that's where that's some inspiration that I added to an audition. Um, was that little shoulder thing? Um, but, yeah, no, I would love to remake something or be part of a new one. Like, I think Josh Gad just did, Gutenberg. It just, appeared on Broadway, and, it's a new musical about making a new musical, I believe. So, even if it's a new one, I'd love to do it. Yes.
right. Now let me ask you this, Nicole: is there one actor or actors that, if you could do one film with them, who would be some of the people you'd love to do a film with?
The whole cast of Harry Potter.
Yeah, yeah,
I grew up with it,
yeah.
and, oh, man, I just wanna be part of the wizarding world. I just wanna be accepted as a Slytherin. It's fine.
And it's amazing how much those movies have taken off. They're so popular, and it's just remarkable what they've evolved into. Because
Mhm,
I mean, here they are, 20 some odd years later, and they're
mhm,
just as popular now as they were then.
mhm. But, yeah, if it was, like, one actor or, like, getting on a serious note, oh, man, see, I don't think I've ever thought of this.
Yeah, I mean, you know, looking at myself, it would be De Niro, sure, but or Michael J. Fox. I loved him. You know,
Nicolas Cage.
yeah,
I love him so much. His movies are awesome. Gosh, what was the most recent one with him and Pedro Pascal? That one was hilarious, and it was so good, and it was just Nicolas Cage, like,
yeah.
and
And
it
he could
just
do both. He could do comedy and he could do drama, and he's
yeah,
great
yeah,
at both. I think of the he played the cop in the night on a true story based on September 11th. I forget
mhm,
the name of the movie, but I mean his acting in that
yeah,
was just phenomenal. I mean,
yeah,
he did such a great job in that movie,
yeah.
and he can make you laugh, he can make you cry. I mean, he's just that talented of an
Well,
actor.
and he just did Renfeld, um, as the vampire, and oh my gosh, like, people give him so much crap because they're like, "Oh, he's too goofy or whatnot," and I'm like, "No, that's what makes Nicolas Cage so great is that he embraces who he
Yeah.
is and what he does, and it's just perfectly Nicolas Cage." And man, Renfield was so, so fun and so good. That would have
So
been a fun one to be in.
right. So Nicole, what could we expect in because the year is almost over, but what is your goals for 24? I mean, what do you want to see yourself doing throughout that year?
Having fun, growing, learning, being the best I can be, possibly starting a podcast, and or looking into those options and, um, wanting to have fun with everything and just tell my truth, get the anti-bullying thing kicked off, but also, have fun being a mom and stuff like that, but still be a kid at heart. And, I was in a film on Wednesday, um, Sunflower Facade, which comes
Yeah,
out
yeah.
2024, so that one will be really fun to watch. I'm excited to see the end
And
result because we had so much fun.
how can we see these films, Nicole? Like especially Sunflower for God. I mean, where could we watch that?
Um, that one right now, it's not filming, it's still in production. Um So I will be posting it as soon as I know because we don't really have a date, but there will be a premiere. I'll give yeah, give information as I can on Instagram and on my website.
Well, Nicole, I really enjoyed doing this. I want to thank
Yeah.
you for giving me a few minutes, and I want to have you back on, especially when 2024 comes, because these movies are going to come out, and I only think that you're going to continue to do great things. And the stuff you do with the anti-bullying, and what's most impressive to me is what you are as a parent, because it sounds like your kids are first, the acting is second, which it should be. And I
Mhm.
really applaud the work you're doing. So congratulations on you know the career you're having right now.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It was so nice to be here.
Well, thank you again. And folks, there you have it. I encourage everybody to continue to check this very talented woman out, because she's only going to continue to do great things. She's got her priorities in order, and she's a very motivated and creative person. I think 2024, you're going to see Nicole Shiflett do a lot of things. And the best part is we get to see it and watch her evolve as an actress. For In the Spotlight, I'm Mike Kenichi saying good night, everyone.